everyone. Welcome back to the Cypher Talk.
Yay!
This is Devin.
And I'm Sydney.
And today we have a very special guest joining us.
Eddie! Yay!
Yeah!
Let's talk about how we met.
All right, bet. Okay.
What do you remember? Where do you remember?
Dude, wait, good point. Okay. Yeah. So basically, for context, during the pandemic, we were part of a dance crew called ManIA Dance Crew. It's called ManIA because the last two letters are IA, so it's part of IA. Well, it's a hip hop dance crew represented by IA, so only people within IA are part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And then what I love about that too is that like all the artists and all the dancers in ManIA Dance Crew come from different artistic backgrounds, right? Mm-hmm. They might not only be a dancer, and so you really get such really cool perspectives from these different dancers, right?
Yeah.
And so from these different members.
There's some people who have never danced in their lives, and they join ManIA, and they grow so much.
Exactly, and they're like really good.
Yeah.
And they learn so much from it. We had virtual auditions that year. I was the dance captain that year. I was in 9th grade. Sydney and Devin were entering in their 7th grade. And so they auditioned virtually. They got in that year. It was virtual, all pandemic. And then we did we essentially had the dance captains and different people choreograph pieces. I think 5 pieces total. And then we filmed it in different locations in Orange County. And so I had a piece to cater to you. Who's the singer? Like Beyonce? Or something? Okay,
yeah.
Beyonce. And then Devin and Sydney were like some of the lead dancers in my piece. And we had rehearsals at OCSA. And we filmed it in March or second semester, springtime.
It was multiple pieces?
I only had one piece. But you guys, we had multiple pieces.
Wasn't there a theme for all the pieces? You had, and then it was catered to you?
Oh, it was Beyonce theme. That's why.
Oh, yeah, it was all Beyonce.
Yeah.
We're all wearing black, I think.
Yeah. And we all wear masks too. That was a really cool time. So that was the first time I remember meeting you all. And
what was your first impression of us?
Dude, I thought y'all are crazy good dancers. I loved it. Yeah, it was cool. I especially love the fact that there were more community dancers in OCSA too. I think especially because the past 2 years, I met a few other people that were part of the community and dance community, but I felt like the hip hop dance community in general in OCSA was not that big within the first 2 years. So I was very excited, especially the fact that you guys chose IA and not CMD, right? Commercial dance.
That, 3 Gravy people or 4 that were from Gravy and IA. That's rare.
Yeah. Wait, who's the 4th one?
Kaylee,
sorry. Yeah. Kaylee. Yeah. Kaylee. Hey, cut. Wait, I'm sorry, Kaylee. No. Sorry, I'm but I think, it's a good thing that I forgot because there's a lot of people. Yeah. Exactly. There were just so many people later on that year, the next few years that just kept on coming. But yeah, I just remember I was elated to see that you guys, and to be able to learn from you guys too, right? How you guys move, how you guys dance, and what I could learn too as a dancer.
Wait, so you were a sophomore?
I was a freshman.
Oh, wait, when did you become president?
Sophomore year. So it was the year after that.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was
thinking you were such a young president.
Yeah, I know. I was really young.
Full 2 years.
That was pretty funny. I joined ManIA 7th grade, and in the first 2 years, I was the only middle schooler actually. Really? I think during those 2 years. I think because the year before I came in when I was in 6th grade, they had 50 people on the team. And they're it's too much. Yeah. And so they're we actually want to cut down. And so they didn't accept any middle schoolers that year except for me. So it was really fun time. But also I kind of felt like I was in a room full of a lot of older people. And so it was great being able to know them all. And they were an amazing group of people. But I also kept on searching for people from the dance community especially, right? And I remember one time I was in literally my Halloween costume for 7th grade was Kinja's, bro. Because I was because I was so bullish about yo, I'm a dancer. I don't need to show up about hip hop, y'all don't even know. All y'all ballet contemporary. Where's the hip hop here? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a ballet and contemporary dance conservatory, right? And I was where's the hip hop dance conservatory, right? You have a commercial one and you have ballet. Where's the hip hop, right?
No hip-hop.
Exactly.
More prominent in OCSA now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
but
great.
Before, not really.
But when I first came in, the first 2 years in middle school, I was where is everyone, right? And I remember in 7th grade, I actually saw someone with Kinja's hat. Literally just it was a dad, I think. After school or something like that. Yeah. It was for I think it was orientation week or something like that. And so I was whoa, that's so cool. There's actually people that know this stuff, And then you guys came in. I was wow, that's great. Yeah.
How did you build the confidence in taking that leadership role so young?
Dude, good question. Very good question. I was actually very, very nervous. Really? I think especially in the pandemic, I had a lot of social anxiety, right? And so then I was or like
I can tell.
no, legit, like, dude, like during the pandemic, I think it was because of the fact that like you're at home, you don't have much like social interaction, and then also like I think every other choreographer was older than me, right? Especially like I said before, I was the only middle schooler for a very long time, the youngest person in the team, and I was like, oh, like I feel like I was stepping into this leadership role, and I wanted to ensure that I felt qualified, but also other people felt that I was qualified, especially being someone I was younger, right? And so kind of like my motto throughout that entire year actually was like confidence builds by doing, in a sense that like I feel like unprepared, but like how can I feel more prepared? How can I feel more confident? Just by doing more, right? By like actually engaging in the work, by planning it, by ensuring that everyone knows what they're doing for the filming day, by ensuring that like I know what I'm doing. That's also to like be aware of any things that may go all right? Like if there's something that like goes unplanned, like how can I prepare for that, right? So essentially like my entire mindset was like prepare. I think something I've learned over the past few years is that like if you keep on doing that though, it sometimes takes too much time to prepare, right? Sometimes you have to learn to just do it on the spot, right?
Yeah.
And so I got better at that over time, but especially as a young leader back then, and also going to become president the next year, I was like, yo, like I feel so like, what do I even do? How do I even start, right? But I knew that like if I kept on doing the work, like confidence would be built over time.
Yeah. Was it dance that pushed you to like go through that?
I thought about it. Okay, so in terms of that mindset, well, dance definitely like fostered that, right? And that was the reason why I like built those skills. But the motto and kind of the motivation and the intention was actually because like I just watched a lot of vlogs during pandemic. You know how like there's like those like his name is Matt Diavella. Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay, so basically, I love reading. So I like in elementary school I read like all like the Percy Jackson, Heroes of all that stuff. But then like during middle school and like 9th grade year pandemic, I like got really into like self-development books. And I was like, because like my ideology was like, dude, like what separates someone from being really good and not good, right? And what I conjectured was like, oh, it's actually just like doing the work, right? And it's like, how do you do the work, right? Like we have access to so many resources, right? As long as you have like the proactivity to just go and do it and go and find those resources and go and learn, then you'll like be better, right? And so then for me, that was like self-development books. I read like Mark Manson's first, his book is like The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough.
I read that.
Bro, I read that as a 7th grader, bro. So like there's a lot of stuff I did not understand. There's a lot of F-bombs in that book too. Yeah. But I started with that, and then I read this book called Power of Habit. I think the more popular book is Atomic Habits by James Clear, right? Yeah, that's very, very popular. But before that, there was this one called Power of Habit. I forgot the author. But it was pretty much the same like kind of intention, same goal, same like kind of message from the book, where it's like your habits can be changed by you and yourself, right? Like if you want to do something, like it's possible to do it, right? If you want to like stop being like lazy or like quote unquote lazy, right? Or if you want to like try to like, be more productive, right? It's all about your habits, right? It's all about habits of the organization, about the individual, about society, right? It was like very soothing, especially as like a budding 9th grader in the pandemic, not doing anything at 9th grade at home, sitting home all day during the pandemic, right? I was like, ooh, like this is a cool thing to learn, because like I don't know what to do with my life. I'm like uncertain with whatever I want to do, right? So I was like, it's a good way to like kind of learn more. Yeah.
Wow, you're so wise for like a 12-year-old.
No. I had no idea what I was doing.
How was the process of becoming? Do you feel like you were like motivated right away, or you had to practice?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is like understanding why you do something and you understand the intention behind it, right? A mindset that Gravy always instills is this. Like David, like the director, always instills us is like confidence is one of the biggest barriers to a dancer, right? Mm-hmm. Like understanding who you are and also believing in yourself is very big, right? And so with that too, like for me, like confidence for me like meant like understanding like what I wanted to do with my life, or like trying to figure out at least, right? Of course, there's so much uncertainty in life, but like if I at least have a good idea of what I want to do and like why I do something, and also even if I'm kind of navigating this uncertainty in the future, right? I'm like, oh, I have a certain goal, but I'm not necessarily sure how I want to approach it or how I can approach it, right? The best thing to do is just take action, right? And from there, you can understand where you make mistakes, how you can self-correct and course correct, right? Mm-hmm. So that was a big thing for me, was like understanding like my intention behind things I wanted to do. I think one of the biggest, most pivotal moments is actually doing Maxed Out in 10th grade.
Really?
With
yeah.
ManIA?
Yeah, with ManIA. Wow. Yeah, so for context too, again, so basically 10th grade, so that was 9th grade, we just talked about pandemic. Mm-hmm. And a year later, it was 10th grade. I became president of ManIA Dance Crew. our dance team for we're part of the IA Integrated Arts Conservatory of OCSA. So essentially what that is like we learned a ton of different art forms throughout school. Essentially, we might have had like all the students.
Is that the pizza?
Pizza break.
Pizza delivery.
Over under 2 bites.
Yes. So what exactly is OCSA?
Awesome. So OCSA stands for Orange County School of the Arts. It is a public charter school in Santa Ana, California. They have auditions. And so now it's kind of like an audition lottery kind of situation. But essentially, you audition into one conservatory. So OCSA has 17 different conservatories, and these span so many different art forms, right? So there's commercial dance, there's classical voice, there's musical theater, there's film and television, there's culinary arts, like cooking. Like that's really cool. It's a 7th grade to 12th grade school. And some conservatories start only in 9th grade. What's so special about it is that from around like 2:15, 2:30 p.m. until like 4:30 p.m., those 2 hours after school, you take arts classes. We are part of Integrated Arts Conservatory, where essentially it's a combination of all the different art forms except for instrumental music and culinary arts. And so what's really cool about this conservatory is that these are all different artists from different backgrounds. So people in your class could be like visual artists who are also, or other people could be like videographers, dancers, musicians, other actors, right? And what I really love about that is that I was able to explore so many different art forms and really understand the different disciplines within art and kind of apply that to my specialty within dance, right? And what I love about IA too is that it didn't really feel competitive as well. Like a lot of the artists in the classroom, right? It's like everyone has their own specialty, so you can't really compete with the next person, right? And then a little bit about ManIA as well. ManIA Dance Crew.
Yeah, it's less about like your skill as a dancer and just more like appreciating dance and having fun.
Yeah, that's what I really love about being in ManIA. Like, it's so different from being on a competitive team like Gravy, where I really have to like focus and make sure I'm like just on top of everything.
Gravy is because I feel like it's like the perfect opposition between Gravy and ManIA.
Yeah, okay, I'll explain a bit, and then if you guys want to add on it.
I can explain.
You want to explain? Yeah, sure, yeah.
We'll take this. So ManIA is very like, like dance community, having fun with one another, like bond. But Gravy is a competitive team, and it's more advanced. And how would you explain it? How would you feel like it's different from?
We're being taught at a more professional, high level. We're being trained to like hopefully make it kind of in the industry.
Oh yeah, and like it's competition. ManIA isn't competition anymore, at least.
Yeah. So we compete.
Totally different in background. And then I feel like a lot of these dancers, their goal is more so like improve as a dancer. Work as hard as they can to get as good as they can. So it's just completely different. But it's nice to have ManIA. It's like refreshing.
Yeah.
It's so different. Like our rehearsals for Gravy, when it's competition season, it'll be like 10 hours long or even longer. And ManIA, it's like only once a week now.
Yeah. I also want to add an integral part of OCSA is the shows. That takes up so much time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like like a whole week of staying back until 9, but getting to school at 8:30.
Yeah. You learn so much. I think
there
are many days, and I love OCSA definitely prepares you for. I'll talk about this more later too, but definitely prepares you for college, more for like the real world too, because you sometimes have like 12-hour, 13-hour days where you go in school starts at 8:30 a.m. and then you end school at like 8:30 p.m. because after like school ends at 4:30, 4:45 every day, but then you might have rehearsals for your shows from like 5:30 to 8:30, and you come home at 9, and then you still have homework to do and everything. So you literally learn time management too.
You were known for not getting sleep. Like, you would stay up so late. Like sometimes we would like but when we were on board together, all of us, you would sometimes text a group chat like 3 a.m. and we're all asleep, and I'm like, when do you ever sleep? So how do you like balance all your extracurriculars, your leadership roles, your classes, and still do everything and balance everything?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
You don't. That's the answer.
Oh my gosh.
I think first of all, like one of the biggest motivations for a lot of students in high school, right, is college apps, right? Yeah. Or even just like getting to colleges, right? And I think nowadays, like the process of getting to college is so inhumane, as in like literally, like this is not healthy to do, right? like the influx of information, the influx of work, the influx of even like your motivation and your attention spans, right, is like so inundated every single day for like 4 years, and you're still like an adolescent. You haven't even become an adult actually, right? You're still a teenager. You're still growing. Your brain is still so young. And then now you're forced to also like do all this stuff and like learn and become like, and also like figure out what you want to do in your life, right? It's very inhumane process. And that's actually what I realized, I think, in my junior year. And I understood that, but I also understood I wanted to get into college. So I was like, okay, what am I willing to sacrifice and what am I willing to do to do that, right?
Did you think about sacrificing dance? Like, would you ever think like this is too much?
So going into 9th grade, actually, I actually started with mock trial. So
really?
Yeah.
You were in mock trial?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'll get into that. So that's what I'll get into. So that was during a pandemic. So basically the two big things in the pandemic that I did in 9th grade was ManIA and mock trial. 9th grade and 10th grade me was not as motivated as 11th grade and 12th grade me. And I think for a long time too, I was like very much like, what's the purpose of college? Like you're selling your soul. Like it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I was like,
Wow.
oh, like I felt so like what's the point of this, right? I want to have fun, bro. I'm literally like what, 12-year-old, 13-year-old. Like what am I doing with my life? What am I trying to like work for the rest of my life? Brawl Stars, dude. I had 2 accounts in pandemic, bro. I still have 2 accounts. I was so bored. I made another account.
No way. Because you're so good on one.
Because I played so much in one.
Oh my god.
I spent so much time in one. But in 9th grade, I joined mock trial. Really great experience. Very high learning curve. In a sense that like there were so many different objections, so many different rules that I had to learn as a lawyer and attorney in the mock trial extracurricular activity with an OCSA. We had rehearsals we had practice every Friday for like 3 hours. And sometimes I felt like so many other students already knew what they were doing. And I was like, oh, like I have to learn all this stuff. There's so like they're in because like we had to like prepare for competition by the end of the semester in like December. So during the first few months, like they gave us a ton of information every rehearsal. And this is the first time I like kind of had that like intrinsic motivation to learn, right? Where I was like, ooh, this sounds really cool. I want to learn this stuff, but it's such a high learning curve. Like there's so much jargon that I have to understand and like really internalize, right? So what I did was literally I would like record the sessions, the different Zoom sessions, and like I would literally like email the coaches like and say like, hey, can I have one-on-ones with you? And so I would like have 30 minutes to 1 hour Zoom sessions with them throughout the week, where I would record on my phone what they were talking, what they said, like ask them questions about the rules and objections, and I just basically took notes on everything. So during second semester, I excelled a lot and stuff like that, and so there was like high potential for me to come back, and I was like, ooh, should I come back? Like this is such a cool activity. Like I've already excelled so much in it, and that was like my first life decision where Gravy came in. And they moved studios to Orange.
Oh yeah,
and
so close.
Yeah, they used to be in Walnut in LA, right? And then they moved to Orange. And I always wanted to go to Walnut, but since I'm in Irvine, it's too far away from me. Orange is just like a 20-minute drive. I was like, oh great, I can go there now. But then I was like, oh, but I have mock trial now, and it was like on Saturdays as well. And so I was like, oh, I need to choose something, right? And I chose Gravy, exactly. And like for me, I was like very, very nervous. I was like, ooh, like college wise, like maybe mock trial be better, like it looks more impressive, maybe like I already have such a good reputation among them. Like if I say no, like what would that make me like? Also, like will I be on the bad side of like the teachers, right? Like they're literally teachers at the school, right? Like what if I have a class with them later on, right? So many different like issues to consider. Exactly, big sacrifice. But also understood like Gravy was like my dream team for a very long time. And I was like, bro, like I'm not gonna give up this chance to like join an audition for Gravy, right? So I first like auditioned for fun, and I got in, and I was like, ooh, like I'm just go for it, right? And I just basically just like quit mock trial. And so I guess like the question of like how do you sacrifice or how do you balance dance and academics? I guess the first lesson I learned was like following your passion, right? Like because I am part of Gravy throughout the next like 2 or 3 years of high school, like I also became a lot more empowered in other areas of my life, right? Like I think if you choose where your heart leads you, you will be a lot more successful later in life because that's actually where you feel more authentic, right? And even for me, like even though we had 10, so Gravy has like rehearsals like 10 hours every weekend minimum, right? And then if not, there's like Hell Week. I remember there's one time we had like a 3-day weekend and it was like 21 total hours of rehearsal. And I counted it. I was like, oh wow, we just had 21 hours of rehearsal, bro. That was crazy, right? It was 3 days, right? And then like we still had homework to do, all that kind of stuff. Like, and it's like, how do I balance that with other activities, right? But the thing is, like, I felt energized about that, right? Like I would come home from rehearsal on Sunday night at 8 p.m. and I still have an essay to write, I still have other work to do. But because I love dance so much, even though physically I felt drained, spiritually I felt energized. And I think a big thing too, like a great thing about ManIA too and Gravy, from the way I see it too is like Gravy is like, I mean, ManIA is kind of like this diverse area of kind of like lateral growth. And what I mean by that is that like you learn laterally, you learn side to side, you learn from people who have different artistic backgrounds at ManIA, right? People there are not there to train for dance, right? They're there to explore and have fun, right? Whereas Gravy is this very like concentrated area of high growth, very specific growth, where the team itself, they always think about, they really focus on being clean as a team, as one unit, dancing as one unit, right?
What Eddie means when like they want you to be like one kind of dancer is, so basically when we're preparing for competitions, a big part of our scoring and winning is how clean we are. So that in terms of like not just your friends, but how you're hitting it, like your execution, whether it's sharp,
how
or
in
slow.
sync the group is.
So what we would do, especially with David. So David is one of two of our directors.
Main
and
directors,
he's the like the stern guy. Like he's gotta be perfect.
The bad
cop.
cop.
So yeah, like we've spent like 8 hours cleaning like 1 8 count just to be perfect, and like that's how like similar they want you to be. Just to put that into context. Then you go ahead.
Sure.
Talk about your dance journey and your background.
Thank you, Sydney. All right, bet I will. Okay. I have a twin sister. Her name is Heather. She's 1 minute older than me, and she was actually the reason why I first started dancing. So when we were really young, our parents put us into a ton of different activities, and nothing really stuck, right? We like went through like some different sports, some art forms, piano as always, right? And nothing really stuck. And I still remember like my first dance class. Basically, there was a dance studio that opened up in Irvine, and my sister was like the first customer there. She did like ballet and stuff, and then after a few months, like we were 7 years old at that time, and then I would always accompany my sister and my mom to rehearsals, because like I was doing nothing at 7 years old. And then after a few months or like a year or something like that, my mom was like, yo, why don't you try hip hop, right? They had like opened up a new hip hop class. I was like, sure, why not? And I still remember that first class. Like it was a substitute teacher that day, and she was teaching us like the box step. And then I was like, whoa, this is so cool, right? And I still remember like it was like an hour-long class. I looked at myself in the mirror. My cheeks were red. Like I was sweating my forehead. I was very concentrated. I was like, wow, like that was so fun. And after the class, my mom was like, how was it? I was like, that was okay. And we just like I just kept like going from there. And that was like when I like really felt that spark in me and understood that like I really want dance to be in my life forever, right? From there, I joined this team called Smurf Kids. Smurf Kids, yeah. And I was also the youngest kid there. I was like, I went there when I was 4th grade, and everyone was like a high school and middle schooler.
Wow.
I was so scared, bro. I was like, yeah.
Fourth? Yeah, not even middle school.
Dude, I was so scared. I was like, oh man. And my mom would like literally always like during the first year and second year, she would actually accompany me to rehearsal. So like she would literally just like stand there right next to her, like sit there next to the studio, and just like be on her phone and like just like wait for me, because I was so scared as 4th grade.
Yeah.
So it was great. Thank you, Mom. But yeah, and actually the style of that dance scene from Kids is very much like hard hitting, very much like Gravy and GRV. The director himself, like he was very inspired by GRV and that kind of choreography. And so at a young age, I actually really learned how to have a really good work ethic and also pick up choreo really quickly, because everything about the dance was like frames. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we would always just rehearse that too. And then after that, I joined Kaba Kids, and I was doing that with Smurf Kids. And Kaba Kids is another dance team in Irvine, and I learned, so they were a bit more chill, more lax, more community oriented. But what I learned from that was actually I learned like how to cultivate my own style, like who I want to be as a dancer. I also learned how to freestyle too, right? Like that was when I first got into freestyle, and also learned how to like slow it down, learn how like textures worked. And then during the pandemic, I actually learned under Jason Lin. So he's a dancer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a dancer.
How did you meet Jason?
Yeah. So he's a dancer in Kinjas, and he was also on Gravy Babies and GRV. He basically just like one day in May of 2020, he posted on his story like, "Hey yo, I'm open privates, DM me." And I was like, bet. So I just DM'd him essentially, and then basically for the next 2 years, I would have Zooms with him every few weeks.
That long?
I remember this.
And then that's actually why like I grew a lot more in ISOs, and I kind of like had a kind of this natural affinity for ISOs and like isolations and popping as a style within hip hop. But then that was when I first actually learned like the technique. And then, so yeah, after Jason Lin, then I went to Gravy Babies, and also was president of ManIA. So I did stuff on the ManIA front, also Gravy Babies. And then from there, I guess the next big thing was Young Arts. So there's this competition called National Young Arts Competition, and basically I tried out for that in junior year. And it's kind of like it's kind of like the Science Olympiad for like dance or for arts, right? It's like if you win this, it's like really huge. It's like a national competition for arts. There's 10 different disciplines in like singing, like design, drawing, and dance, right? That's like another the disciplines. And so I tried out, And essentially what happened is like they have a hip hop discipline, and so they basically they have you like do like a 2-minute solo, right? And I actually didn't even know how big like Young Arts was.
You didn't know you were gonna get flown out?
No, legit. I was like, what is this, bro? I got the call. So okay, wait. So yeah. So basically what I did was like I was like, bet, okay, I'll just like choreograph a 2-minute solo, submit like a video of like technique, and just send it in, right? I didn't really think much about that.
Really?
Yeah. So like just like spend a few Saturdays just choreographing something and just send it in. And then like in November of that year, I got a call from them. Like it was just an unknown number. I didn't pick up at first, and they called again. And they're like, "Hi, this is from Young Arts, blah, blah, blah. You're named a finalist." And I was like, "What does that mean?" Like, what is this scam, bro? Like, what is this? I called my parents. They're like, "What is this competition?" I was like, "I don't know. Is this a scam?" And then I got more research. I was like, "Oh, it's actually a really cool thing." And so yeah, so I became a winner with distinction in hip hop dance. So basically, what that meant was like I was flown out to Florida, January, really fun time, and they pay for everything. They pay for your flights.
Crazy,
It was a really fun time. Didn't even know how big it was until I got there.
Really?
And then I was like, "Yo, what is this?" Yeah.
It's like the artist hub. Like,
I know,
I
legit.
know.
I know. I was like, "What is this thing?" Right? And then performed my solo there, and it was a really fun time. But I think that was also the first time, or one of the most pivotal moments where I was empowered as a dancer, as an artist. Like, oh, I can make this big if I wanted to, right? Like, this is a huge thing. This is a specialty of mine. And then from there, the next big thing was, that was my junior year. And senior year, you could apply to become like a United States Presidential Scholar in the Arts. And what that is like an honor where if you're winning with distinction, then in senior year, you can apply to be a presidential scholar.
With Young Arts?
Mm-hmm. Within Young Arts.
Oh.
So like you had to first become a Young Arts winner.
With
And
distinction?
then with distinction.
Okay.
And then from there, you could apply for a presidential scholar in the arts. So I applied for that and then got that. Didn't even know how I got it either. But that was really cool too. Dude, legit, like honestly, like many things, like you do stuff, you try your best, and then something happens, right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did all this like success make you question like if you wanted to continue dance and just take that route?
So this is something actually I want to talk about too. It's like, I guess this is something too that like, I guess to touch on, whereas it's like, you know, how do you find a balance between dance and academics? This is always will forever be a struggle in my life. I think this will be like my lifelong dilemma. Like, it's always kind of like, it's like the bane of my like existence. So throughout high school, like doing a lot of stuff and like doing a lot of academics who focused on classes as well. Like I knew I wanted to get into good college, right? So that was like my North Star as well. And that was, I think, something that like my parents and my family also really instilled in me, where it's like, you know, like it's a good thing that, like, this is something I want to aim for, like myself, right? Another thing, I think my mindset throughout high school was like, oh, like I'll just focus on what I enjoy doing and try going as deeply as I can in that, and then see what comes out of that, right? And for me, like within academics too, like there's so much stuff I want to do within that. I didn't want to just let go of that as well. Like I want to focus on academics and dance in my life, and so how could I intertwine that? So literally, even like during rehearsal at Gravy, like during breaks too, I'd be like studying for a push, right? Or like on the sides too, like if I felt like I knew a dance well enough, then I would focus on academics instead, right?
I used to do that too.
Exactly, right? Like
yeah.
it's very big thing to do, because like sometimes rehearsals are so long, bro. No, sometimes rehearsals like 10 hours long. It's like, what do you do
you
with
have
your
some
life?
downtime.
Exactly, you have a lot of downtime. So it's like, how can you be more efficient too with your time? Where I am at right now too is like, or even like after Young Arts too, it's like, you know, I felt very empowered as an artist, becoming a presidential scholar, everything like that. Like there's so much stuff I could do with dance and art. Like how can I find a balance between that and like academics? And I also didn't apply for like any dance conservatories or dance schools for college too, because like I knew that if I wanted to go for college too, like I wanted to also focus a lot on academics, and I think there's a lot of stuff I want to do within that. The great thing about hip hop dance too is like it's a very flexible, community like oriented art form, right? Like unconscious to like ballet, where like you have one goal, like there's one way to like there's like a few ways to really like go pro, right? In hip hop you could like be famous on TikTok, or like teach dances in like off stage, right? Like at dance studios, or like teach internationally, or be a backup dancer, or work for an agency, right? Like there's different ways you can do it, and many dancers too that I've talked to too have been able to find a balance between like what they do at a day and also at night. So that's something I'm still trying to figure out.
Also, I will say that dance is really accessible. Like hip hop dance especially, like because like high school now, junior year, I had so much work, but like even if it's late, I can just go in my living room, put on my AirPods, and dance for like an hour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I feel like for me myself, I'll still be able to feel fulfilled even though I have so much work and I can't like go out and take class.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
it's not hard to find sometimes.
Very much so. And then also even like in academics too, like how could I intertwine that with dance too? So like for AP research class, when my research paper was on like dance, right? So like it was like my thesis was like ballet as an art form is like regarded as more prestigious, as a higher art form. Like can hip hop be considered that high as well? But now, like with IDL, International Dance League, and other different it's still developing. Still very young. It's still 50 something years old. But it's doing really, really well.
Right.
Exactly.
So now it's time for our lightning round game. 5, 6, 7, quick.
All right.
So basically, you'll have 60 seconds, and we'll just ask you a bunch of questions. They're rapid fire questions. You have to answer as fast as possible.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, just think on the spot.
Bet. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah. Tell me when the timer's going.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Well,
You ready?
Let's
Lock
do it.
in.
I'm born ready. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
Favorite style to dance?
Isolations.
Go-to hype song?
Not like us.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
No ice cream. Dream
choreographer to work with?
Whoa. Whoa. Teacher. Shigeru Nakano.
Okay. Phone app you use the most?
LinkedIn now.
Most challenging piece you've learned? That's hard.
Recently, Gina Michael.
Okay. Freestyle or choreo?
Freestyle right now.
Last movie you watched?
Fantastic Four.
Coke or Pepsi?
Oh my gosh! Wait, I forgot my answer to this thing, bro.
You forgot?
I think I'll just put Pepsi.
Okay. Biggest dance inspiration?
Kid Nimbus.
Go-to comfort food?
Sushi.
Superpower you want for a day?
Not able to sleep. Not need to sleep.
Favorite season?
Winter.
Fast tempo or slow groove?
Fast tempo.
Stage
Hey, that was a minute. That was good.
Yeah, you did good.
Hey.
Yo.
Questions.
Dude, that's crazy.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't remember your answer for Coke or Pepsi?
I made a very philosophical point.
I know.
You said both.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what are you up to now? Where are you going for college? Just
The big reveal.
Whoa.
tell us about you.
Yeah, so I'm at Stanford University.
Oh.
Up in the Bay. I'm in a small college in the Bay Area called Stanford.
Small college.
No one knows about it.
No one. Yeah.
Really easy to get into.
No. Okay. I mean, dude, even to this day, I'm like still surprised. I think you never really get over it that like you're in like a university like that. But yeah. But in the Bay Area, I'm a rising sophomore. I switched majors like 5 times. I might switch majors like 5 more times. Yeah. So the great thing about like private universities,
right?
yeah, the great thing about private universities is that you don't have to commit to a major until the end of your second year. I came in as international relations, and really interested in that. But then I switched. Like I was essentially like kind of figuring out like what do I want to do with my life, like how do I want to help this world, and I explored different classes, took a ton of different classes, met with different faculty. And they have this new dual school of sustainability. So they're really big on energy and sustainability that I explored, took a ton of classes. And then I went through like Earth systems. And then now I've settled on energy science and engineering. But Stanford has been amazing. And also on different dance teams as well. So I'm part of a dance team called ManIA Dance Crew. And I say they're also like very like community oriented, kind of like ManIA in the sense that like a lot of the dancers come from like dance backgrounds, but also have other interests as well. So it's a really cool community to be a part of.
How did you find them?
One of my friends, Eugen Lin, shout out Eugen. So she's a year above me. She's from OCSA, CMD. And she got into Stanford a year before me. And when I got in, she was like, yo, like, there's this dance team you should join. She's part of it. I was like, bet. Because like essentially like a big thing too, right, why I chose Stanford was like, I want to go to a university that also has a really good dance community, right? And Stanford as a top university has like a really, really strong arts community. Like spoken word, the creative writing department is really strong. And dance as well. We have like 4 different hip hop teams, and like in the Bay Area in general too. Like, dude, there's On One Studios,
so many
City Dance,
there.
the company,
Can I ask,
right?
how did you get Josh Price there?
Wait, that's another story too.
Okay, sorry. Continue story.
I got to talk about that after.
Okay.
But she like essentially promoted and advertised Alliance because like I was like, which team do I join, right? And so she was like, yeah, there's multiple. Yeah, there's 4. Yeah. One of them is like all levels, kind of like open to beginner friendly, but the other 3 are like more like, it's like, how do you distinguish them, right? But another thing is like the director, one of the directors actually this past, he just graduated, but he's kind of like a K-pop star. He went to Korea this past last fall and like competed in like this Korea survival show, a K-pop survival show, and did a lot of stuff with that. He was part of a team called Groovement in Canada. I've heard of it.
Well, yeah,
They want to like roll dance and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
And they got like a golden buzzer in AGT and stuff like that. But like, I think what I really tried to find throughout my first year at Stanford, and also like continually too, is like, who are the dancer academics, right? Who are the people who also love to dance, right? And also from the dance community, right? And Michael, like the director, he was like from the dance community, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Like seeing his like profile, I was like, yo, like he actually does dance, and he's like done this all his whole life. Like I want to learn from him and like understand like, you know, how did you like find a balance between academics and dance, right? So he was like, yeah, he's a huge in dance too. So I was like, wow, that's great to be able to learn from someone from him. And because he was from that dance on Alliance, I was like, oh, I should join that too. So that was actually how I got to know Alliance and joined that team. Yeah.
So how like impactful do you think having that mentor was? Was he like a mentor to you? Do you think throughout your Stanford
I'd say
journey?
so. I mean, he kind of was like he was in Korea for first quarter. He and a few other people too, like people like Eugene, a few other dancers too that were Alex, Mia.
Yes,
from
I wanted
LA.
to bring him up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool how you guys are from the community and you both got into Stanford.
Yeah.
You both chose Stanford.
Yeah. So I mean, the reason why I chose Stanford over Yale too is because the arts community at Yale wasn't as big, right? It's like in New Haven, Connecticut, very kind of small. It is 2 hours away from New York City, but yeah, but they only had like one hip hop dance team there. Like the dance team there, I felt like the dance community, in my opinion, hip hop wise, wasn't as big as Stanford. And so kind of like these people were kind of like my mentors, but also like my community too. I was able to dance with them, and I still dance with them, like doing rehearsals, freestyle sessions, all that stuff. We also have a freestyle dance group too on campus.
Really?
And yeah, that's been really cool too. And the dancers, like some of the dancers there are also like really, really like great.
Did you make that, or like did you find?
No, it was already there. Yeah. It started a few years ago as well.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And like all the dancers there too are like amazing. Like I can learn from them, and it's like being able to like show up to session and like freestyle with them too, and like learn from them. Been really awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
It's like perfect. Like that's like what you like to do.
I know.
Legit,
it's
exactly.
a perfect school.
It's great. Yeah. It's been really amazing to be able to like focus on like my academic interests and my dance interests. So.
Do you
Really
still
cool.
pursuing on pursuing dance later on, like even when you graduate?
Yeah, good question. Yes, for sure. I think again, like that is always like the dilemma, like to what degree and to what like I guess context too. Like how do I want to pursue that? I will always like include dance. I always have dance in my life. I will always find a way to like have it in my life, and I always like try and do something with it. I think that dream would always to be like, you know, to be like teaching or like being like to dance as much as I can to like really go deeper into that, but also like help like work on energy stuff and clean energy in my academic interests. So like wherever I want to go to, whether that's like New York after college or LA and stuff like that, hopefully I can like join an agency or like take classes, be a part of a company, something like that. I think a big question I wanted to ask myself too this past year is like, what is like my purpose in the sense of like, how do I want to change and help this world? How do I want to impact this world? How do I want to serve it? And like, what is the thing that I want to work on that is bigger than myself? I guess two of the things I identified, and of course still figuring it out too, is like one, like energy, right? Like if I can like move the needle at least 1% in the world of like moving to a renewable energy future, right? And number two is like dance, right? And it's like, what purpose do I want within dance, right? Like what do I want to share with the world? Like dance is kind of like an engine, a tool, a passion, right? And it's obviously something I love to do every day, and just something I just love to do myself. But like, what is also the purpose I want to serve with it, right? There's a few things, but I think one thing that I really want to focus on is like, how can we use dance to serve something greater than us? How can dance be part of like this interdisciplinary collaboration to tell a message and tell a story, right? 2-step too. Yeah, we can talk about that too.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Wait, yeah,
Two-step.
there's that too.
Dude, OG.
Okay, that was like high school. But but I want to essentially like pub Art Is. So Art Is this organization that I'm essentially like a choreographer, performer for, that's in the Bay Area. And essentially what we do is that we provide these like interdisciplinary collaborations between different artists to tell different messages, right? So it's like, how can you utilize the audience as a way to like pull you in? How can you use dance and art to tell a message, to make the audience feel something, right? Like the great thing about art is to like make someone feel something, right? So if you can like tell a story, like tell a narrative, make someone feel moved by something, right? We created a show in May where I performed in San Francisco, and we tried to essentially think about like how can we create a more immersive experience, right? So like I would dance inside the building, outside the building, like we would like blindfold the audience.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Is that what you posted?
Yeah.
Can you explain what you guys did like more?
Yeah, exactly.
I saw
So
a few videos.
that was like our proof of concept show in May. But essentially, like I performed in San Francisco, and it was a show that we put on that was cultivated by different artists, right? So we had poets, we we had fashion designers, we had instrumentalists, we had like lighting production designers, we had me as a dancer. It's kind of like integrated arts, but into like another show, right? And this is like a proof of concept show because so it was like a 30-minute show in San Francisco, and the purpose of it was like the message that we want to tell was like this allegory of like kind of like being shackled and like going to liberation. So that was like kind of like the feeling that we want to portray. And so then like we first started like in the entire theater, and I was like dancing there, and we blindfolded the audience first. We first had them like really feel like the auditory like kind of sensory information too, right? So like we use like the different instrumentalists use like the, I don't even know what the instruments are called, but like they use different like the bells and stuff to like make us hear stuff, and they have a poet like perform something, and they would just listen and like hear and feel it, right? And then they took off the blindfold, and I was there and I was dancing, and I came from the audience and I danced from there, and then I danced freestyle, did some other stuff, danced to different music, and then I like essentially at the end I would like go outside and dance inside the building, and that like kind of was like the symbolism of like me being liberated as like a person. Like that was a message that we want to show with that right.
I know you talked a little bit about this earlier, but how does dance affect you right now compared to when you were younger?
I think when I was younger too, especially as like a teenager, I was more free in the sense that like I didn't have responsibilities, right? Like you don't have to worry about like paying the rent, you don't have to worry about like making money. Like all you have to worry about is like dancing, right?
That's true.
Like yeah, exactly. And like I also understood that from a young age, especially in high school, where I was like, oh wow, like I may not have a chance like this for the rest of my life ever again to like dance for this many hours and not be not be stressed about it, right? And to just like have this like unfiltered expression, to just like dance and practice in my backyard and just like really have a lot of fun. So I really tried to cherish that. So that was like my mindset in like high school and below too, right? And I really tried to not take that for granted, right? And now it's like, how can I balance the purpose I want to do within dance, to have fun, to take classes too, but also like financial stability, right? Like making a living for myself, right? How can I ensure that that also is taken care of? And other things also is like, how can I also ensure that I'm also fostering my academic interests too. Like I don't want to just like, given the opportunity, I don't want to just dance for the rest of my life. Oh, actually, well, there's two ways to think about it, actually. If I had no other worry in my life, I would just be dancing every day. Like, dance is obviously the motivation behind everything I do. I'm sure for you guys as well, right? But also, like, there's issues like climate change that, like, are a really big problem. And, like, that's something that I'm also really passionate about. And I know, like, especially at a place like Stanford, I have a lot of resources that I can utilize to mobilize to help people and to help communities.
That's cool. So it's like it seems like a different perspective. Like first it was balance, but now it seems like you're mixing it. Like you're finding purpose in dance to like use it to advocate for something you're passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's also like a big thing with balance too. Sometimes it isn't only like one or the other, but like how can you intertwine them, right? Yeah. Like how I mentioned with art is with our organization, like it's beyond just like dancing and performing, right? How can we use it to like serve a higher purpose, to serve something greater in ourselves, right? Or even potentially make more money with it too, right? But also like tell stories like climate, right? To make San Francisco like the next arts hub, right? Like how can we do these different things? Yeah.
So you go to a very prestigious, high-level school.
Nah.
Yeah, it's kind of it. No, I'm
Small
just kidding.
college in the area.
What advice would you give to our teen listeners on how they can prepare for college? Kind of like
for those who want to take your route.
Yeah, because you go to an Ivy school, right? So just kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, it's like considered Ivy plus.
Same level.
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll cut that out.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'd say like the biggest thing is like passion over everything, in a sense that like if you're making a choice, like the mock trial versus gravy, right? Like you always choose your passion over something else, because admissions officers, they can look through like you just doing something just for the college apps, right? Like if you go through life having the intention to have fun and have an intention to be passionate about the work you're doing, you will naturally excel in it. So that's number one. And I guess number two is also like third year high school too, like focus on like one or two focus areas, right? So for me, that was like international relations and dance. So I did a lot of work within both, went really deeply into both areas, won competitions, served the community, all that kind of stuff. But I focused on those two things, right? So in high school, really focus on two or three that you're really passionate about, or passionate enough about to get through high school and just apply for college. And always think about also like why you're doing these things. Many times it can very much feel mundane, where you're just like doing a task just to do it. If you just try to do something just for the external validation, like you won't go too far. Versus like if you really understand why you want to do this, right? And I think even like in all the like the other like great state schools, other schools that might not be like Ivy Plus or Ivy League, like there's still like that 10% that are really really great and really driven people that you can still be with, right?
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
That was really good advice.
We just want to close it off by asking like just like a short, like over the topic of the video, like what advice do you give to people? What advice would you give to people our age or anyone younger who's interested in balancing school and dance? Just one last message.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Top it all off.
So I think this quote I like found online the other day, but it's like this kind of encapsulates it, where it's like never judge anyone for being stoked, like for being genuinely stoked. And what I mean by that, it's like when you enjoy doing something, like having fun with it, like this is like another, I guess, purpose that I really want to hope to like spread to other people too, and the message I want to share. It's like, when you genuinely have fun in something, right? Like you're doing it just to have fun. You're doing it because you love it, right? You're not doing it for the social media, for the likes, the views, the fame, the money, whatever it is, right? You're doing it because you actually enjoy it, right? So for me, that's dance, right? Like if I really truly did it just because I'm having fun, like I wouldn't really care too much about like, oh, like I want to be like successful in this art form. Like I want to do really great things with it, and like I should first care about having fun with it, right? And so obviously there's a lot of stuff I want to do with dance and a lot of great things I want to improve on, but I always want to remember to come back to the root cause, which is like having fun. And how does that manifest, right? For me, like I came to like this kind of like realization this past year that like if I want to keep dance in my life, because I will always and forever be busy doing all the things I want to do in life, I have to be having fun doing it, right? Like I do not want to pursue dance and like try and do something, but not do it because I'm afraid of some kind of external factor, whether it's like what other people think of me, or it's like, oh, I think I'm not doing something well enough, right? If I had fun doing it, then I would already have been successful. Like that would already achieve my goal, right? So for me, it's also like you can dance anywhere, right? Like dance does not have to manifest specifically within a dance studio, within a dance team, within like teaching a class or anything like that, right? You can also like dance in the dining halls. You can also just dance at a party, right? Like these are also areas and time for you to dance, right? In addition to dancing in the studio, in addition to collaborating with the dance department of your university, whether that is, like something I always try to do is like having fun with it, right? If you come from this mindset of like abundance and not scarcity, where it's like, okay, like many times, especially with social media, right? We try to post something, right? And we're like, oh, what do people think of it? Like, oh, how many comments will it receive? But that's not the original reason why you danced, right? Like you post it just because you want to share with the world what you're doing, right? And also another thing is also like when you're creating or choreographing something, right? A big thing is like, especially as artists, we're all really perfectionists. We're like, oh, we want to make sure this dance, this choreography will be like perfect, right? But when you come from a mindset of abundance, it's understanding that like you will have so many other opportunities to choreograph. You have so many other opportunities to perform. If you are consistent with your work ethic, if you are consistent with continuing to find these opportunities, you will find more.
When you would post, did you feel like nervous about what people would think?
That's a good question. I mean, these days I have Chromestagram. You know what that is? That's Instagram on Chrome. So what it is?
Oh, you don't wait. Wait, what? You use Instagram on the
yeah. So I will like post something and I delete the app.
What?
And I just don't care about the views or anything like that. I think just growing up too, like it's always like this fear of like in a dance circle, like should I go in, right?
Yeah.
Or like it's like I remember like because when I was younger, my parents would always like put me into like we went to this night market in OC and they had like a dance circle and I was like 10 years old and I was like I just want to eat food in this night market. I'm having fun, right? Let me go and like have fun and then they're like, oh, there's a dance circle, go and dance. And I'm like, bro, I'm 10 years old. I don't know.
That's how it is.
And then these are like adults that are dancing and like dancing with each other. I'm like, I feel so intimidated. And then I had this sense of dread the entire night market night. I still remember this event. And I was like, oh, like I don't know. I feel so nervous. And I did it. And like at the end I did it. And I was like, ugh, like I didn't like it. Like whatever it was, right? But I think the act of doing that helped me like kind of get the sense of like, oh, like just put yourself out there, right? And just don't think about it. Especially like in high school in OSHA, like I'd always like just go into dance.
Yeah, you were always dancing.
Yeah, exactly. And then many times like people will be like, oh, you did so good, whatever it is, right? Or I post on social media and like, oh wow, like that was so cool, blah blah blah. But of course, there's always that self doubt of like, oh, like that was such a bad freestyle. What do you mean, bro? You know? Or it's like, oh, like I literally just like I ate so much at prom, like I didn't even feel good while I was dancing. Like I don't even feel like I didn't feel warmed up, whatever it is, right? Or it's like, oh, I just did the same move again. What do you mean I was good, right? You know, like those kind of things. And then I had to reconcile, like, how did I get through in high school? I think I just like did it, and then I just had fun. I just kind of ignored it. But I think in college, like I really tried to reconcile with that mindset, right? I love dancing. I want to share it with others. Why don't I just do it, right? And then that also like takes away like 1 minute of practice too. Like literally, it is time for you to practice, right?
Practice.
It is practice, right? Like it's a place for you to like step outside your comfort zone, dance, perform, right?
Thank you, Eddie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right, that's a wrap on our episode with Eddie. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Sydney.
Follow Eddie Edward.
Follow me at Eddie Edwards on Instagram for more dance and academic stuff.
Hey.
We hope you guys enjoyed. We hope you learned a lot. And stay tuned for the next episode.
Keep watching.
Thank you, guys.